نهادینه یونایتد نیشن گزارش داده است که بیشتر از 100 حمله بر روی تحصیل دختران صورت گرفته است.
When I opened the school, the first year was very tough.
تان اینجاست.
تخته اینجاست. رازیا جان می‌بینید.
که شامل آتش زدن مدارس، حمله‌های انتحاری، اسد پاشیدن روی دختران و همچنین آلوده کردن آب‌های آشامیدنی مدارس.
Some men came inside and said, please make it into a boys' school because the boys are the backbone of Afghanistan. And I said, well, you know that the women are eyesight of Afghanistan, and unfortunately you all are blind.
قبول کردم گفتم که خیر است ما بر قسم شاید درس خود پیش میبرم.
My name is Zakia, my father name.
ما طرفشان کردم سنای دیگر بود. کاکایم طرف ما کرد که حال تو عروس ما شدی نمیتونی مکتب بری. استاد کل امیدوارم که از فقط از اون تنگی که مادر میخوام کل امیدم سنه دروازه مکتب است که من کی مکتب خود خلاص میکنم بتم.
ما با این امید دارم. اینای بنیاد مکتب. I wanted to look in their eyes and say that you have to make a change. Trust that yes, our girls can get educated. We can make a better life.
You've come a very long way, I think in every sense. And I just want to open this up by saying a little bit of what I told you backstage. I have a 5-year-old, and the assumption always was he would, of course, go to school. He would go to a good school. It was just a question of how good the school would be. And I feel like so much of the world doesn't know the most basic issues that these young ladies deal with. So, Beth, why don't you start and tell me how you became aware of what this amazing woman is doing?
Sure. Well, thank you so much. It's great to be here. And Razia is such an inspiration to me. You are Razia. It's incredible. I mean, when
it looks like she's about to roll her eyes.
Well, no, it was when I first met Razia, it was a little bit before she was thinking about starting the school. And when I heard what she wanted to do, she wanted to go into a village, a small village in Afghanistan, and open a school, not just any school, but a girls' school in a village that had never before in its history allowed its daughters to be educated.
In any capacity?
No, the girls here had never been to school. Not one girl had ever been to school. So Razia shows up on the scene and says, it's time. Now is the time for girls to go to school. And the men weren't really sure that they wanted that at all. And they fought back, they pushed back, and Razia pushed harder.
Razia, what made you decide that that was the time and that was the place?
I think, you know that 9/11 was a terrible time, and I think it changed the world. How you see the world and how terrible things are happening throughout the world, and it's still going on all over the world. But I'm from Afghanistan, and I had the privilege of coming to US for my higher education, and then unfortunately I couldn't go back because of Soviet invasion and then the civil war and then Taliban, of course, till 9/11. And in January of 2002, first time that I could go, and I did go there, and all I saw was that there was so much disaster all over. But with all this, I saw wherever I went, any place I went to a village or to an orphanage, it was when you gave a toy to a boy and a toy to a girl, and 5 steps later, the boy would snatch it and run away, really. And I thought, God, you know, when I was growing up, my father and grandfather would say proudly, like, these are our granddaughters and they're going to school and they're doing so well. And now these kids are like, they are dirt. You know, when you ask a man in these villages how many kids you have, they have 8 daughters and 2 boys. They will never say, I have 8 daughters. They'll say 2 boys. That's it. Those were objects. And how do you change it? The day I was opening the school, a gentleman came and sent me a message, if you bring this bulldozer, and it was a small little bulldozer really, to dig, and I'm going to come and lie down in front of it because I don't want you to build the school. And I said, well, you're welcome. Why don't you come? And I'll bury you here, I said. And then I'll put a flag and I say, this damn person never wanted a school for girls. And it will last for hundreds of years. So, and then another time they came and said, boys are the backbone of Afghanistan. And my thing was that, the girls are eyesight of Afghanistan, and you all damn fools are blind. And I want to really give you light.
How did you convince these fathers, and I assume it was largely fathers, to let their daughters go to school?
I think just one step at a time, really. Whenever I talk to them, and still whenever I talk to them is, I want to do what I want to do, but the way I do it, they think that they are the winners, but they are not. They are letting more daughters come in, and they are getting education. And we are just opening a college, which is unheard. We've been there 9 years, and we had first graduating class of 7
Amazing.
girls. And now we are having another 15, and still they are not allowed to go outside, of this village. So I said, well, I'm going to build this college, a junior college, and let's go with that and see how things go. So we are trying to really make these people understand. And I think if you see when you watch the movie, it is something that it's really not about a student. It's about a family. It's about the community. It's about a teacher's life. It is so, she has done amazing work. And she's been there 7 years. It's not a joke. To be there and put herself in danger and work with us every day. And really, people are shocked, and they ask me, they say, how these people allowed her to come to their homes. And I said, she just, she took a piece of ice and she cracked it little by little and split it in open, and they have no way of telling her, you can't do this, because she's been there so many times and they think she's one of them. And without realizing that what she has brought up for the world to see is so amazing. There's so many stories, and I think she has,
450 hours worth of footage.
Oh, my Lord.
so
So
we
the
have-
outtakes DVD is going to be huge.
Exactly. We have a 77-minute feature-length version and a 52-minute broadcast version that will be on PBS's POV series. But Razia talks about, you asked the question, how did she get the men to agree? And I think I've been so impressed by how she's brought the men in and really had, while she is, very, very straight on her mission and very clear that she's not shifting focus, she also has a way of listening to what they say. And I think, so many of us are familiar with the, PTOs of our worlds. And that's what these men, the village elders, are kind of like this informal PTO group at the school, and they come in once a month and they talk about what's going on at the school. They're able to air any grievances that they have, and Razia listens thoughtfully and then tells them what she wants them to do, and invariably they leave doing what she's asking them to do, and that's the
I'm gathering that, yes.
the situation. But it's very important to have that community support, not only for this school, but any girls' school in a rural area in Afghanistan has to have the support of the community, or it couldn't exist.
As an outsider, what was your observation of the opposition to the school? How intense was it?
Well, the community, as I said, is ultimately very supportive. They had a lot.
They
of,
are
Yeah,
now.
they had a lot of trepidation at the beginning, but there are definitely times when things flare up, and it is just such a difficult environment to get anything done. So things that you would never expect to be a problem end up being massive problems.
Like give me an example.
So for example, Razia was named a top 10 CNN hero in 2012, and it was an incredible time of growth for her organization and for the school, and there was an opportunity to address the need to get bigger. They were bursting at the seams, and so the idea was to build a third floor to make room for more classrooms, to be able to have more students at the school. And the community kind of went crazy. Many people in the community really hated this idea. They said things that were very inflammatory, things like, what's going to happen not if, but when the Taliban comes back and they take over this school, then they'll use this third floor to, target us. And, on the one hand, it seems, outlandish, and on the other hand, there is a very valid concern. Oftentimes when the Taliban or extremists are coming into an area, they are looking around and they're saying, what's the best building in town? And this clearly is it. And so that was a difficult time with the relationship between the school and the community, and also problematic for filming ultimately.
But my answer to that, and I called the priest or mullah or whatever, and I sat with him. And I said, tell your community, before Talib comes, each one has to die, I said, in the name of this school and in the name of the girls. I said, you can't let these men come here. I said, you have to sacrifice. Tell them this. Tell them in the mosque. I never heard any more from them. So
I would not want to go up against you, let me tell you.
No, really, I just, it's no excuse, it's just hypothetical questions. I mean, I could be sitting somewhere and get scared, but I can't because otherwise you can't move, you can't do anything. If I think negative, and I think there is no, in my book, there is nothing negative. I always see the challenge and try to find a way to go forward because it's a whole 600 kids, they depend on us. And if we can't protect them and if we can't do things right for them, then there is no reason for us to be there.
And this issue has gotten so much, I don't want to say publicity, but so much, publicity. Michelle Obama's been a vocal spokesperson for Let Girls Learn, Charlize Theron, a ton of other people. For you as an educator, what do you see as the changes in the girls from the day they start to a year later?
I think if you see them now, they are just as I think, full of life as any girl is in US. They might have their limitation, but once they are in school, they have the whole world in front of them. And they think they own everything that there is, which is such a great thing. They are not scared of anything. They want to do this. And they are trying to, we teach them English from kindergarten, a 4-year-old girl. And my thing is, one reason also I think that things changed is that when the first day we opened the school, I told my teachers, I had 5 teachers, I said, give a sheet of paper to every girl and make them write their father's name in English and in Dari and send it home. Believe me, these old men with these big beards, they came crying that I put my thumb, my 4-year-old can write my name. And we've been doing this for 9 years. And every time I'm surprised that somebody comes crying because they are all illiterate, And for them, it's a great, great change. And I think they are very proud of their daughters. I mean, there's one instant that a father is sitting and he opens a notebook and he says that it's beautifully written. And he's shocked, like, oh, my 12th grade son, what happened to him? I couldn't read his writing. He didn't even think that his 6th grade girl can write this. So she comes in the room and she says, Baba, what are you doing with my book? And he said, it's yours. I thought it's Ahmad's. No, it's mine. And he started to cry and hug her. And he tells the story to everybody because it is something that the girls have achieved. And not, it's a saying that when you educate a boy, you educate a boy. When you educate a girl, you educate the whole family. And this is something that has happened because these girls are trying to help the whole family, really. So the change is amazing. And I think they think that they own everything there is in the world.
As they should.
They should, yes.
For both of you, why do you think there's so much opposition to letting girls learn?
I think we are trying to break the ice, but the reason really is for them and in other areas is safety of the girls. Because, when Russians came, they raped every woman, they cut throats of the men. And these Taliban that you say, these were little kids that ran away for days and days, and they went to these camps, which is in Pakistan or Iran. And they were brought in this madrasa. They grew up there, and they've never seen a girl. They've never seen a mother's love. They've never seen what a woman is. It's the greatest thing that you can have in your life. And they had no idea. So for them, all they remembered is to how keep them safe. If a girl goes out, well, she can't be raped, which is not right now. It's not what's happening. And they are the ones that are threatening the whole generation of girls to keep in I think this is their... That's the mindset.
What's your perspective?
I think this is the question, right? Why is there so much opposition to girls' education? And my feeling is, when you look at the whole society, it is a totally and completely patriarchal system. It's a system for and about men. And what is more threatening to that whole system than this rising tide of educated young women?
Yes.
And before we go to the audience, what can people do to get involved? I know that you want to grow the school, to help you grow the school, to help you maintain the school, for starters.
Absolutely. We have a program that is, you can sponsor a girl for a year, and that's $300, which provides that girl their uniform, their books, their stationery, and also the teachers pay, and also their transportation. Bus to school and from home.
So they get there safely.
That is a great program for us, and that is something that you will get a letter from the girl and her picture, and 6 months later, you can get another letter, and also you can correspond with her. And hopefully, if we get enough funding, so if our network is better and we have good internet, schools can Skype with the girls. And it's so many things, The world is shrinking. So I think we just need to look forward for these facilities and these opportunities for these girls to continue.
And Beth, you must feel so just empowered that you help bring a light on this.
I love sharing Razia's story, and I love sharing the stories of the girls. 10 years ago in this village, it was totally unimaginable that there could be a girls' school. The girls here had never, ever gone to school before. And now the community is not only supporting the girls to go from kindergarten through grade 12, but they're now also enthusiastically supporting a college.
Junior college.
Yeah, and the college is being built right next door to the K-12 school. All of the girls who graduated last year are going to school to study nursing and midwifery, which is huge because right now there are no female healthcare workers in the whole area. So this is such an incredible need. And I think as families begin to see really the value of this education, they'll be less likely to get their daughters married off early. They'll have more income as a family, and those are the two driving forces, what keeps girls out of school.
And girls can
marriages
say no.
and poverty.
They can be like, I don't think I'm going to be married at 12.
right.
No, thank you.
Right.
And now to our audience, please.
Okay, so my question is for the founder. Will you be opening up any other all-girls schools in any small villages?
Well, when you grow up, you become millionaire. You help me. I will open 10 more schools. But right now, I think I can only concentrate on one to really, it's impossible for me to look anywhere else. I would love to. I would love to even help the boys, you know. But unfortunately, if I change my focus from what we are really getting and what we are giving to these girls, we started with 109 girls, and today we have close to 600. And next year, I'll have another 60 in kindergarten. So it's something that we are, I wish I could, but maybe in future.
Next question, please.
Hey, Beth and Razia. I want to thank you both for being here, and it's really a wonderful thing what you both have accomplished. Thank you so much for that. There's a very smart and young audience in the crowd today, so my question on behalf of them, what's one best possible tip you could tell them to maybe go on and continue and achieve their goals in the future?
I mean, I really think it's all about believing in yourself and believing in your ability to make a difference in the lives of others. And that could be, you know, one person, connect with one person that you can make a difference with, and you can scale that up. And I think it's knowing that, you know, at this age, you guys are young, but you're in a leadership program, and that's incredible already that you're thinking about how to be leaders in your community. And so I think, you know, being here today is a testament to the fact that you want to try to find ways to learn more about what it means to be educated as a girl in our world, and, you know, why are there so many girls who are out of school? The numbers are extraordinary. 130 million girls globally are out of school. And I think that all of you could play a role in helping to see that number come down. And so I would just say, you know, believe in yourself to be able to think about making those changes. The problems in the world can seem insurmountable, but they're not when we try to make connections, direct connections with people.
Anything you want to add, Razia?
I think to see these young women here, they have, I think their heart is made of gold. Literally, you know, they can't be in a program if they really didn't care. And they are in such a good place. I think they all will do very well in life. Because the reason they are in a leadership program, because they want to help and they want to go forward, thinking about others. I'm a Rotarian for 20 years, more than 20 years. And our motto is service above self. And these 20 girls are people that are thinking of helping somebody else. So I think that is, they are in the best place.
Give yourself a round of applause. And last question over on the right, please.
Hi, ladies. Thank you for coming today, and also thank you for sharing your inspiring story. My question to you ladies today is, during the creation of the movie, was there ever a time that was maybe too dangerous to shoot and also interfered with the creative process of the film?
Sure. So we did, as I mentioned, when the third floor was being built, there was some tension in the village that kept us pretty confined to the school, and we weren't really allowed to go into the community or into homes as we had before, and then eventually were able to after. We also, at one point, we had a situation where we were filming on the street, and there was a woman who was walking toward us from quite a distance away, but there was, you know, the sense that because she was, you know, could have been in our frame, and a shopkeeper came out and was, you know, really was, you know, very upset and trying to grab the camera away from the cameraman, and so that was definitely a point of tension, and it was very important to us, you know, not to create, you know, more trouble. As I said, it's a very challenging environment in which to work, and we wanted to make sure that we didn't do anything that would create any more problems than already do exist.
I think what she did is, she always went off limits because that's what filmmakers do. They take the risk and they take a chance, really, because there's no limit to her. She wanted me to go every house that there was with her, and I refused because, and I think it took a long time. If you think it's done in just such a short time. No, 7 years. So that's a lot of time for her to understand the people and also the environment and
develop trust, I'm sure.
Yeah, and and you will see in that movie, and now I've seen it so many times, and every time I see, this is the mayor of this village, and she has gone to his house, and I'm like shocked that he has been so open and speaking about his life and let you film his life. It's incredible. But that was only because of trust. She couldn't do it otherwise. It's incredible. And it's really, with those people, you have to have the trust. And she developed that trust that she has done what otherwise would be impossible in 1,000 years. So I think she has taken a lot of chances and put herself in a really danger to be with us. And I tried to protect her as much as I could and keep an eye on her 24 hours.
I'm on a leash when I'm
And when can we see this? When can we see the documentary?
So it's airing on Halloween. It'll be on the POV series on PBS. And you should check your local listings, but for the most part, it's 10 o'clock Eastern and 9 p.m. Central.
Thank you, ladies, so much for being here. It's such an honor talking to you and talking about this very, very important cause.
Thank you. Thank you so much.